fell in love with it. I fell in love with the program, the students, the colleagues, the whole concept and the whole process of accessible, free public education. And we have to remember that that's what this is about. City College is under attack, and it's not just our jobs and our current students that are in danger, it's the existence of public accessible education, access to education. For people with disabilities, for older adults, immigrants, and for anyone who doesn't fit into the model of a so-called traditional college student. The state of California says we're not as important. We don't deserve an education. So I was a teaching assistant, and my colleagues encouraged me to go back to school myself to become a teacher. And since then, I've taught a wide variety of classes in disabled student services and in the high school completion program. We work with students who are getting degrees, who need accommodations, and we work with students who are struggling to learn to read, and we work with PhDs who are coming back to school, and we work with students who want to express themselves through dance. And that's who our community is. The privatizers and the people who hold the purse strings in Sacramento, they want to shrink us down to a tiny junior college. But that doesn't change the fact that our community includes that whole range. San Francisco deserves a college that serves the real people of San Francisco. Now, every teacher has a million stories about inspiring students and moments in the classroom that meant a lot to us. And I'm just going to talk about one because I can't resist. There was a man I worked with in the high school completion program years ago. He had left school in 4th or 5th grade to work at his family's farm. He said that most of the kids in his southern town did that. And he'd always wanted to go back and finish school. And he'd worked all different kinds of jobs, had traveled, had a full life, but he'd never been able to go back to school until he retired. So he was just a joy to work with. He was patient and kind, encouraging to the other students, always ready with a smile. But school was really hard for him. You know, he hadn't been in school for his whole life, and it was all new. Had never touched a computer before, right? He'd been a painter, but he'd had a stroke that had damaged his muscle control. And the sort of tragedy of his life was that he couldn't hold a paintbrush or a pen. So with us, he learned to type and he learned to use the internet. And it was challenging because he'd never touched a computer before in his whole life. And then when he discovered that he could find art and photographs online, his schoolwork just took off. So he called me over one day to his computer station to look at a photo he'd found on the internet. And it was a picture of a group of legislators from the South during Reconstruction. And they were all Black. And he asked me, "Is this real?" And I said, "Yeah, it's real." And his next question was, "Why didn't anyone ever tell me this? I'm a Black man, I'm from there, and no one ever told me this." And the rest of his history project, he studied Reconstruction, and he did it all through photos. And he experienced so many things through art and imagery. If he could find a photo, he'd remember and he'd understand it better than a lot of us would from reading an essay. It took him 10 years to finish his high school diploma. He struggled through it the whole way. He was 85 years old when he graduated, 75 when he came to us, 85 when he graduated. It was a struggle. And in that time, his growth was just phenomenal. And he offered support and help and good cheer to other students and to teachers. And he was a model for the rest of us. Look, that class, this program, this college, it's an incredible resource. The community and the warmth and the love and the growth that happen here cannot be replaced. And when they talk about cutting our classes, they haven't seen the faces of our students and they haven't felt what we feel. So thank you for being here, and thank you for letting me tell you just one of our stories.
Thank you, Malaika. And this is the time that we were waiting for, the time where we all get to do some action. So now we have Jessica Lehman, our Executive Director at Senior and Disability Action, and she's gonna help us with a direct action right now.
I think Athena is going to talk about it first.
Can everyone hear me? Hello. Yeah. Great. So putting some things that you can do to take action in the chat. Thank you all for being here to support our CCSF, our students, and our faculty. And there's a few things. So Elena mentioned at the beginning, the solution here is really, we need more funding for our city college, right? We know that our community relies on CCSF to do things for our communities. And just because the state doesn't fund us at the level that we need to be at to support San Franciscans does not mean that that need goes away. right? So we're asking people to make calls, and particularly we're focusing right now on Supervisor Walton and Supervisor Haney. Supervisors Marr and Ronan will be introducing legislation to provide supplemental funding to our city college through the city's budget cycle before the layoff deadline, which is coming up very quick. That's May 15th. So we need Budget Chair Haney and President of the Board, Supervisor Walton, to step up and stand up for our CCSF and to sign on and pledge their support for this supplemental legislation, which will be introduced. So that's the ask today, really. Please call Supervisors Haney and President of the Board Walton. Tell them vote yes on the expansion of the Workforce Education Recovery Fund to make sure that we can support programs like our older adults and disabled students programs and services, as well as really critical workforce training programs that are going to be very essential for people when they're coming to recover from the COVID pandemic, right? People need CCSF to be able to retrain and figure out how to get back into the job market, among other very important things that CCSF does. So that's the first ask. You can also, there's more in the chat that I put there. You can also email our trustees, let them know that you'd like them to use the emergency funding for COVID that came from the government to support programs. And there's also social media steps that you can take. So all of these links will take you to instructions for what to do, but there's some sample tweets and Facebook posts. Tag any supervisors that you know. That is helpful. And then we have a beautiful video of DSPS, Disabled Students Programs and Services, that is sort of a compilation. So you can share that on your social media. You can also tag supervisors and trustees there. And then lastly, we're doing all kinds of actions, right, to fight this. So that last thing is just, we have a month of action. We're updating that sign up form as we add more actions. So if you'd like to be kept in the loop about other ways to continue the fight to save these programs and classes for our students, you can please sign up there. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Jessica, and she's going to model sort of a call to the supervisors with the script, which is that very first link that I put in the chat. Thanks, folks.
Thank you. So Senior and Disability Action is about action, or we wouldn't have it in our name. And I know that AFT and Gray Panthers and Older Women's League and all the other folks and organizations on this call are about the same. So who wants to join me in making a call to Supervisor Haney and Supervisor Walton right now? Just put a hand up if you're like, yep, we got to do it. All right. I see a lot of hands. That's wonderful. So I have not done this before because I am just getting up to date, like all of you are up to speed. So I am going to make my call with the volume on. And if you think that I'm not a public speaker, or that I'm a public speaker and this is not intimidating, then you would be wrong. So I'm going to do this, and then you all get to do it after me. So I'm using the Google Doc, and I'm just going to borrow from this, and I'm going to start with Supervisor Haney. Oh, I guess I should put my phone on speaker, or you won't be able to hear it.
Hello, thank you for calling Supervisor Matt.
Voicemail.
As the current unprecedented public health crisis continues to develop, our office will be closed to the public. However, we're continuing to check our voicemails and responding to all constituents. Please leave your name, callback number, and your email, or reach us at haneystaff@sfgov.org. For the latest coronavirus updates, please visit the city website at sf.gov. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jessica Lehman. I am calling in support of City College San Francisco. At Senior and Disability Action, a lot of our members, who are all seniors and people with disabilities, a lot of people of color, people from other marginalized communities, attend classes at City College and really depend on classes that are intended for older adults and people with disabilities. These are classes in job skills, since older people and disabled people need to work to make a living here. All kinds of classes for people to stay connected. The older adults program has already been decimated, and now the disabled students program is facing a 40% cut. We can't let this happen. Please join us in saving City College San Francisco. I'm asking you to vote yes on expanding the Workforce Education Recovery Fund to prevent massive cuts. Our students and our communities deserve it. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody's ready? So feel free to mute yourselves. You don't have to do it publicly, but if you want to, feel free. And we're gonna take 5 minutes so that everyone can make those calls.
So yes, so please call Supervisor Haney first and then Supervisor Walton after that. And there's language for voicemail that you can just read. It's sort of below the wrap, just in case you got a live person on the phone, which we were hoping. But also voicemails, they do listen to them and check them and log constituents' perspectives on these things. So that's at the bottom of the page, as well as the contact information. I also put the info in the chat. Thanks, folks.
looks like we still have some people making phone calls, so maybe one more minute.
Seems like people in the chat are somehow just switching to Supervisor Walton, so maybe let's wait just a couple minutes.
Did anyone get through to anyone? I got through to Walton's office. Somebody named Tracy answered.
That's great. I think Sarah had also put in the chat that she connected with Tracy.
I connected with someone who was male in Walton's office.
Yes, I connected with somebody who was male in Walton's office too. They have been bombarded.
I hope everyone saw Maya Scott put in the chat. What an awesome phenomenon.
Oh, Maya,
Ah,
that's a groaner. Okay, are people wrapping up their calls? I saw Athena put in the chat, but I think it got moved up. The next step after calls is emails. You want to tell us about that again real quick?
Yes, so thank you all for calling and leaving messages today. I'm going to put in the chat one more time. I would say the next thing to do after since you've already left voicemails or spoken to a live person, which is great, is if you have social media, either Twitter or Facebook, follow that Tell Elected Leaders to Stop the Cuts on Social Media link. There's sample tweets in there that you can copy and paste. It's got the @ so that you can be directing it at the supervisors that we are really prioritizing connecting with right now. And then if you're not on social media, that's okay. Another way to take action is to sign up for the month of action so that you can be involved in the next steps, the next fights. And coming up, we actually have a press conference tomorrow that's focusing on the nursing program and how important that is for our city. They're facing cuts of more than 50% in that program, both the LVN nursing and the RN nursing program. And then next week, we're going to be doing a big virtual press conference. That's May 3rd at noon, followed by a caravan, that's spelled C-A-R-E, caravan. So bring your bike, bring your car, bring your feet, whatever your mode of transportation is. And we are going to caravan. Please wear a mask and be mindful of social distancing. But yes, there is the virtual element of that event as well. If you're not vaccinated or for whatever reason, an in-person action is difficult. So if you sign up on that month of action link, you'll get all the information needed for both of those events. Thank you all for being here and for caring about CCSF.
So that caravan is on a Monday, right? Or is it a Tuesday?
That's right. That's next week. So Monday, a week from today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Athena. We now have a caravan and a phenomenon. I sense a theme in this, in our event today. Thank you, everybody, for the calls and the emails and the support. We've got We're still over 70 people in this meeting, which is wonderful. Stephen Herman is our next speaker. Are you still here? I can't see everybody.
Doesn't look like he's still here.
Oh no. Well, if he comes back, we'll get back to him. In that case, let's jump to Maya Scott. Maya teaches art and theater arts in disabled student services at City College, my esteemed colleague, and she's an adjunct just like me.
I'm so excited to be here, and I'm kind of a literal person. So when I heard about teaching, I kind of thought, oh, we get to do, teaching as action and protest. So with that in mind, I thought it would be fun to just change things up a little bit and bring the classes to you, and also bring some of my students' voices to you guys. So if it's okay for me to share my screen, I'm visually impaired, so I'm going to turn into a great and mighty forehead as we do this. So I wanted to just bring a really quickie art exercise that's also kind of a fun icebreaker for meetings and bad dates. And the challenge is to draw your a line, draw your story as one line, and without picking up your pen. And if you don't want to drive a pen for right now, for whatever reason, you could also engage with it with your hand and your finger and draw it in the air. So for instance, childhood was kind of fun and bouncy, and then teenage years were like, right? And then I kind of found I started going in circles a lot and kind of coming back, and things were kind of smooth. And then let's get up to the budget cuts, and my blood pressure went up, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. So this is like kind of a really short version of my lifeline, but it can wind all over the page. And so it's really fun to do as a meditation and take at least 5 minutes to do it. And so here is an example of one of the lifelines that I created. So the next step would be to go back and add color and find images within there. Sometimes interesting things pop out. And I love these kind of exercises. These are the kind of things I bring into my classes, where we meet everybody where they are. And I mean everybody where they are. So with that in mind, I also have a lot of students who rely on their art and their bodies as their voices. And so I'm just going to show you a bit of artwork that is speaking out on behalf of saving our DSPS classes and what they mean to our students. And I think this is the right link. This is just a little 1 minute piece. Here we go.
Can someone audio describe this?
Yes, thank you. So we're seeing a colorful collection of both abstract works, mandalas, and self-portraits, along with interspersed with some protest signs that say things such as save DSPS, don't disable our education, support our education. There's also some landscapes. Some of the pieces are in progress and some of them are complete. All of them were captures on Zoom. Some of them were made jointly on whiteboard. And we had one in Spanish. And we finish with a collective piece of a palette as a wheelchair, going up a paintbrush. It says, our art is our voice. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share my heart job and my passion and my deepest gratitude to have been a part of this beautiful community.
Maya, that's stunning. It's just beautiful. Thank you. It's so nice to see some of the work that comes out of the classes that you do and hear you talk about it and hear in your voice how much it means to you. And then you can show it to us so we can see what it means as well. It's beautiful. Ligia? You're muted.
So we don't have a Stephen yet. No. Okay.
You know, I think he did say a piece when he was asking his question after Elena gave the budget presentation earlier. So,
okay.
Yes, thank you.
Well, we have another warrior from Senior and Disability Action. Her name is Angie Bagares, and she recently graduated from the Senior and Disability Survival School, and she's gonna talk about what CCSF means to her. Angie, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I'm Angie Bagares, a 74-year-old senior, a Filipina, an HSDA member, and graduated at City College in 2009 as a licensed vocational nurse at the age of 63. So City College for me is a school where everybody is for everybody, no age discrimination. I was accepted even though I was already 58 years old. So we were classmates with my daughter in English, and she's still working now as a nurse supervisor too. Without the City College and the city government funding for my financial aid, I couldn't have finished my LBN for the 5 years of study there, 2004 to 2009. After 38 years of absence from school, because I graduated, my last in school was in 1966. So the subjects that I never learned, I don't have a phone, never had a phone. And I never use a computer, I never touch a computer, even how to turn on and off. But it was in City College where I learned how to learn keyboarding for free, right there in Mission. And also this computer, there are free classes there in Mission, free computer classes. That's when I first touched the computer. And the subjects that I took up at City College is Speech 1A. That's a prerequisite for nursing, and helped me overcome my stage fright. And because of that, I now active in the rally. I spoke in the rally at City Hall for the Free Muni in 2015, and also at the City Hall. So I was like an advocate. I went for advocacy, especially when I was a member of this Senior Disability Action. And then besides nursing, studying nursing at City College, I also studied ballroom dancing, Latin dancing, and swing, and every dances. And I give that back to the community by teaching them how to dance. And also I'm an entertainer in the different senior centers. I sing, I dance, and sometimes singing and talking also. And also I use, in the City College, I used to learn computer and Microsoft Word. And you know, these students there are many tutorials, tutors who will teach you in the library. So they're and the teachers there are very good, really. And almost all my classmates in LBN are now nurses. Because before they only work at Starbucks or in the McDonald's, but they were laid off from their job. So they went back to City College and studied LBN. Now they are nurses, are in as SFGH, and almost all graduates of nursing at City College are working now in the hospitals in the city. And my classmates are there. When I went there, they say, oh, mama. They call me mama because I was already like their grandma. But thanks to City College and the city government that helped me. And also learn about US history, self-defense for women. Now I learned that if you somebody will try to kidnap you, you just fall down and pretend you collapse. So they cannot pick you. They have the hard time picking you up before they cannot. Don't ever go with your attacker to a place because you're gonna be. They can do anything to you. And then this fundamental of nursing. Now I have my job because of City College, and I took care of myself, took care of my family, and it's a livelihood. And my classmates also in microbiology, they are working now in Genentech. So there are classes there like the CNA, paramedics, healthcare workers, and X-ray technician. They are graduates of City College. So don't really stop funding the City College. It helps people have a better job and give opportunities for poor people, especially the immigrant. The immigrant, my God, the only low-paying job, and English, the ASL is very important too. Me, I don't know. My English is like I have only a basket of my English because I'm Filipino, but because of City College, I was able to have a job and have a degree, even if it's only as an associate. Even my daughter, imagine that, all the nurses there, and even my math, my algebra, and intermediate algebra, I was able to survive in City College because of that English and the tutorial of the students. They need funding really. Thanks to City College. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Angie. That's beautiful, Angie. I mean, like the whole family, the whole community. You make a sum of everybody that ever been at City College.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's my true story. I'm 74 years old now. Thanks to City College. The financial aid they offer to us.
Yes, you're great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is why we need City College, right? For people like Angie, for people like me, for all of us here.
Yes.
So, Malaika, are you helping us with the next segment?
So, so Randy had to leave, unfortunately. She was going to speak but couldn't stay. So our next segment is a video compilation, and this was put together, I believe, by one of our AFT 2121 organizers, Spencer, who I'm not sure if he's here at the moment. And it's a compilation of videos created by DSPS students at City College. So Athena, we see that you started screen sharing, but it just looks like a blank screen right now. We're still not seeing any video. I don't know. Is it showing on your end? Just gonna try again.
Maybe one of the other co-hosts can help me with this. It's telling me that it's sharing on my end, but it's also saying that the share is paused.
Oh, that's weird.
Can someone else please try?
I will
This
try.
is the link in the chat.
All right, let's see if I can.
Oh, that looks better.
Oh, someone else has it up. Okay, so I won't.
Oh, that's funny what I just saw.
It just went up and then disappeared. Who was sharing it?
I think that was Lee Haley here. You're on mute.
Yeah, I was, but then I think that it's not. I didn't see where to share the audio.
Okay, I think I can do it.
Okay.
Hold on.
Thank you, everybody, for your patience. All right, we've got the video.
CCSF, DSPS students.
What classes do you enjoy through CCSF? I enjoy doing the drama class with Judy and Bob.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about classes potentially being cut?
I'm not too happy about it. I'm stressed about it and I'm kind of anxious.
Well, my favorite CCSF class is Malika's job club class, and that enhanced my life by helping me prepare to potentially one day get a job.
Share a favorite moment, project, or experience you had at City College.
Doing the shows to perform.
Performing in the plays.
Even when I'm in embarrassed moments.
Even when you're embarrassed. Do you feel like performing in the plays has helped you get over some of that fear?
It makes you feel like when I'm embarrassed and I don't want to, perform, it feels like somehow I get a lot of comfort and do the show no matter what happens.
Right on. How have CCSF classes changed or enhanced your life?
I've been taking drama class for 4 years now, and it's been helping me because I get to stay focused on my work at the front desk and drama class at the same time. And it helps me listen a lot better to what everybody is saying, because I used to be not focusing what I'm doing, but City College helped me a lot because it helped me find a job that I really want to do, and it helps me make new friends from all over the world. And I really appreciate you for helping me sign up every single time for City College. And if they're gonna cut City College, I don't know what I'm gonna do like every single Friday. And if I hope they will keep City College going.
So like CCSF is a place where we want our careers to keep going. We want to learn new experiences, or we want what we want to learn, right? Like acting, being on stage, off stage, being on character, stay on character. Like which plays do you want to do? Which one do you want to act out? Like all these scenes being performed, just it's all that we want to go through, right? And after you learn everything else that you do it until the time where you work for, you earn it, and you just keep on going. Like I said, we want our classes to continue, not to be cut. Just move forward with it, just keep it alive. That's it. That's what we dream for, right? So everybody wants to work hard and just
Thank you for that. Thank you. There's some odd static, so I'm going to ask folks to please mute yourself if you can. Thank you for that. We had asked students and faculty and community members to talk a little bit about what City College meant on video. And there are many of these videos. Some of you who are here now have made your own videos in addition to that compilation. I've seen some of them. There are many of those up on Twitter, and I don't know how to find them on Twitter, but Athena can tell you.
just go to AFT2121 on Twitter. And we also have them on Facebook. We're sharing them. And then you can also go to the HOPE site, which I will put the link in the chat. And there's an easy way to record your very own video. So it just does it just like if you're joining a Zoom meeting, and it uses your camera from your computer and your audio from your computer, and people can share their CCSF stories there. And then we're working with a group of volunteer students and faculty that are helping us get all of these amazing stories out on social media. So definitely something that we're doing and will continue to do. So I'll put that link in the chat, but also ask you to please prioritize one of the other asks for today first, which is please call the supervisors and share on social media with a tag about the voting for the Workforce Education Recovery Fund. But yes, please record your stories and share them with us, and we will get them out on our social media. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Athena. We have just a little more than 10 minutes left.
And can we see if there are any other comments, maybe, or questions that some people may have?
Hello.
Amanda?
Hi. Hello. My name is Amanda Brandt, and I was hoping to have a little time at the end here just to share my story. I'm an advocate speaking on behalf of my brother, David Brandt, who is a CCSF DSPS student who has been part of classes since 2007. And he has grown so much in this time that he gets to have independence away from family and be kind of groomed to be a stronger person in his own independence. He struggles with some behavior issues, and he has such a relaxation when it comes to his art classes that he receives, and he gets to be social with his drama classes. He receives them through Pomeroy Center, and I wanted to just share with you one of his art pieces he had asked me to put up today. You know, you can really see all of the time and emotion he puts into his work that, you know, when I try to do art with him, he's like, okay, I draw a line. When he comes home from his classes through CCSF, you can just see all of the attention that he gets out of his artwork. And if funding were to be cut, I just can't imagine any sort of replacement in his life. He is so connected to his art and drama programs and the relationships that he's built over the years that it's just so important that we do everything in our power to fight this, to get the funding that's needed to continue these services, not just for my brother, but his peers and all of the other amazing programs that benefit. So thank you so much for all the work you guys are putting in.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
Are there other folks who have a comment, something to say? Harry.
Hello, my name is David Jackson. Is it okay if I speak?
Go ahead, David, and then Harry.
Okay, I'll try to keep it brief. Hello, my name is David Jackson, and I am a blind student receiving help from the DSPS department. I am a library science student reaching out to get my library certificate to become a library technician. This certificate is rather rather rigorous. The study is extreme. There is quite a lot of writing, a lot of reading. I am transitioning to another screen reader. Without the help of DSPS, I would not be able to do this. To have this department cut is just I just cannot understand the reasoning behind that. The issue for City College, and it's been touched on, the disabled community is specifically not recognized. Although it is a huge part and can be and still should be a huge part of the workforce. And City College can certainly help that. DSPS is, I think, a factor in providing support for the disabled community and helping those such as myself trying to get ahead and making an economic choice and looking for a better economic outcome. I hope that by reaching out to these two supervisors can make a difference. Certainly, a telephone call to each of these individuals is important, but also writing letters is also important. I've done that a lot in other organizations that I'm a member of. So yeah, I would think that DSPS is not expendable. It's important and should be kept. And this community needs to understand that it's important to us and certainly to those people who are staffers there. It's their job. And certainly that's important as well. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, David. There's a couple hands up, Harry and then Angel. Harry, you're muted.
Okay, sight and sound. Thank you very much. I taught in the older adults program for 20 years. I'm still in the music department, but my other classes were cut. So I want to do 4 things very quickly. One, give a list of the older adults classes that were offered until the fall of 2019. So they're quite wide ranging. So body dynamics and aging, principles of balance. So these are things that really help sustain people's lives in their older years, particularly. Figure drawing, sculpture, ceramics for seniors, theater elements and music appreciation, stitchery, telling your life story, intro to computers and using, using computers for photography, and a writer's workshop for older adults and women's literature. So that gives you an idea of much of what we've lost, unfortunately. So between 1965 and 68, the college had actually formed as part of the school district, and they were forced to separate. So in 1970, the school district was born, our community college, and they took over the responsibility for adult education in San Francisco. There are still some classes through the public school, but not so many. And that's what has been given up. The college abrogated that responsibility so that thousands of students in all kinds of these areas, people who have, they were growing their family and pursuing their career, just didn't feel they had time for school. And then as they become seniors, they have more time, but now they've lost the opportunity. So in my class, for example, they not only listened to music in class, I brought in recordings, live music. We pursued places like the Beethoven Study Center in San Jose, the Campanile in UC Berkeley, where they have the, they went to the bell tower to see how the chimes were played, and the archive of recorded sound at Stanford, just among the other things that they could do. And it also gave people life skills and let them communicate. Also gave students opportunities to work with other students, to write to them and various things. So I could go on all day, and I don't want to, because there are so many other people who have things to share, and I appreciate this whole program. And also on Wednesday night, there's also an opportunity this week to reach out to the whole community of groups that are supporting City College. So to give testimony and to hear what others are saying about the value of City College. Thank you, Malika.
Thank you, Harry. Angel, I think you get the last word here.
I got speech for you guys. Hello, I am a student at CCSF.
Go ahead.
Maybe folks can try turning off their video because we might be having bandwidth issues.
Me
Except for
with-
you, Angel.
with learning different skills settings. I learned to.
It's a little hard to hear you, and we missed part of what you said at the very beginning. Can you go back up a sentence or two?
Okay. Hello, I am a student of CCSF. I have been attending class for a while. I talking job club with Malika, who is the teacher on Tuesday. I really look forward to job club every week. This class helped me with learning different skills settings. I learned how to write resume, to do review public speakers, and the best part of it all is being able to attend job fairs so I can have the appointment to look at different jobs out of the committee. I am also able to keep the committee with my peers, so I didn't feel as learning through the different times. I just the teacher
Hey, Angel.
Malika and
Angel, I'm gonna it's hard to understand. Your microphone is a little crackly, so I want to try saying again some of what you just said. And I want to have you pause now before I forget what you just said, and then I'm going to ask you to go on. So and Angel is going to correct me if I get some of this wrong. So I think I'm going to miss parts of it, but hi, I'm Angel. I'm a student at City College in Disabled Student Services. I take a job club class with Malika on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I've gone to job fairs and you said other events, but I missed what they were.
job fair, clubs, job clubs.
Job club and job fairs.
Yeah. And the resume worksheet, and she give out the help to build my skills settings. I would hate to see this class going because I am
So let me
learning
repeat that. There was a resume workshop to help me build my skills, and I would hate to see this class go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Angel. Sorry for the interruption.
Because I am learning so much at class go because I am learning so much things.
Because I'm learning so much and so many things.
Yes.
This is great. Thank you, Angel.
You're
That's so
fine.
beautiful.
Angel, is there more or did we get it?
That's it.
Great. Thank you so much. I wanna say a couple of thank yous to folks here. Jessica Lehman for helping out setting this up and doing the live stream on Facebook. And Athena Wade for tech help and getting us organized so quickly at the last minute. That was fabulous. Lihia, my co-host, thank you. And Lihia, you know the folks at Senior and Disability Action who put this whole thing in motion. And I don't know who they are to thank them by name, but I bet you do.
Well, I just wanted to thank Dawson for getting our speakers, our powerful speakers, these SDA warriors, that are product of CCSF. And so also, the same people as you said, but also Peter that is always ready to jump and to help with the tech stuff that we need that kind of help all the time, and everybody that came, because this is really nice. This is powerful when we get together and we say, this is what we need. This is what we want. And we need to continue making sure that CCSF continues for everybody, not just for future generations, but for the generations that are going right now, right? So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Save City College.
Save
Thank
City
you.
College.
Yes.
Save City
Sí
College.
se puede.
Thank you.
Sí se puede.
Good night, everybody.
College.
Yes, save City College.
Save City College.